Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond 2.8. For those who are new here, I'm Ali, and this is where we talk about productivity, self growth, and all that good stuff that help us become better version of ourselves. So look, today's episode is something I've been wanting to share for a while now. I'm diving into this productivity secret that literally changed my entire approach to work and life. And honestly, I really wish someone had just sat me down years ago and explained all this to me. So, look, today's episode is something. These aren't your typical make a to do list or wake up at 5 a.m. tips that you see everywhere. No shade to those basics, they are fine, but we are going deeper today. These are more subtle, powerful approaches that actually create lasting change in how you get things done. I've pulled together 23 of these secrets that genuinely made a difference for me. And before we jump in, quick little side note. If you're enjoying this podcast and want to support what I'm building, I've got a website at 2.8.io. I'll link it down in the description. The website is where you can grab some merch like t-shirt, notebooks, mugs, things I actually use myself. There's also a community there if you want to connect with other people on the same journey. If you're interested in joining, try the annual payment option and use the coupon code FIRST100 at checkout. It's a special discount I'm only offering to the first 100 members. But hey, seriously, if money is tight right now, please don't spend it on my stuff. Save it, use it wisely. The free content is always be here. Anyway, enough of that. Let's dive into these productivity secrets. Secret number 1, the 5-minute commitment. Alright, this one saved me during some of my worst procrastination phases. When you're really feeling completely unmotivated to start something, maybe it's a workout, a big project, whatever. Just commit to doing it for 5 minutes. That's it. Not an hour, not even 15 minutes, just 5. Here's the weird thing about our brain. They are wired to continue what we have already started. I can't tell you how many times I have told myself just 5 minutes of writing and then looked up an hour later with several pages done. This works because beginning is almost always harder than continuing. Your brain has this completion bias that once you start something, there's this subtle psychological pressure to finish it. And honestly, worst case scenario, you actually just did it for 5 minutes and stopped. That's still 5 minutes more progress than you had before, right? But trust me, 9 times out of 10, you'll blow past that 5-minute mark without even noticing. Secret number 2, decision minimization. This one was a game changer for me. Every single decision you make throughout the day, even tiny one, depleted your mental energy. It's like death by 1,000 cuts for your willpower. So I started batching similar decisions and completely eliminating trivial ones. I chose my outfit the night before, eat pretty much the same thing every day, and follow consistent workflows for reoccurring tasks. Steve Jobs famously wore basically the same outfit every day, right? The black turtleneck and jeans. It wasn't a fashion statement. It was about eliminating decision fatigue. Same with Mark Zuckerberg and his gray t-shirts. When I implemented this in my life, it was like I suddenly had all this extra mental bandwidth. Instead of wasting energy on what should I eat for breakfast, I was saving that mental juice for important creative decision in my work. Try it for a week. Pick a few areas where you can standardize decision and see how much lighter your mental load feels. Secret number 3, productive procrastination. This might sound contradictory, but hear me out. Productive procrastination changes how I view off days. When I'm avoiding one task, let's say editing a difficult video, instead of going down a social media rabbit hole, I'll tackle another productivity task I have been putting off. Maybe I'll organize my file, respond to email, or clean my workspace. I call this productive procrastination. You're still avoiding the main thing, but you're channeling that avoidance energy into something useful. And weirdly enough, while you're doing that secondary task, your subconscious is often processing the primary task you're avoiding. I've had some of the best creative breakthrough while productively procrastinating. Plus, the momentum from completing something, anything, often gives me the boost to return to that main task I was avoiding. Secret number 4, the 2-minute rule. This is so simple but incredibly powerful. If something takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately instead of scheduling it for later. Responding to a quick email, putting something away, making a fast call. These small tasks accumulate rapidly and create this mental clutter when delayed. Each incomplete task occupies space in your mind, creating this background anxiety that drains you. I started implementing this in my daily life, and it was like a constant low level stress just lifted. I wasn't carrying around this growing list of little things anymore. This prevents small tasks from piling up into these overwhelming mountain that makes you want to avoid everything. Trust me on this one. The 2-minute rule is life changing for mental clarity and for your self being and your well being. Secret number 5, environment design. Your environment shape your behavior way more than your willpower ever can. This was huge realization for me. I completely redesigned my workspace and digital environment to make productive behaviors the path of least resistance. My phone stays in another room during deep work sessions. My desk faces away from distractions. My most used tools are always within reach. When I'm shooting videos for YouTube channel, everything is set up so I can just hit record without friction. When I'm writing, my writing apps open to a clean interface. The truth is, willpower is finite resource. When your environment support your goals, you don't have to fight yourself constantly. You're not draining your willpower tank trying to ignore the phone that's right next to you. This applies to digital environments too. I turn off almost all notification. My phone is permanently on focus mode. My browser extension block distracting website during work hours. Design your environment intentionally, and suddenly productivity feels less like a battle and more like a natural flow of your day. Secret number 6, the rule of 3. Each morning, I identify the just 3 most important tasks that would make the day successful. Not 10, not 20, just 3. This forces real prioritization and prevent the illusion of productivity that comes from knocking out 20 tiny, meaningless tasks while the important stuff remain untouched. At the end of the day, if those 3 things are done, I have won regardless of what else happened or didn't happen. This has been huge for my photography business and content creation. Even on chaotic days, I know what absolutely needs to get done. There's something psychologically manageable about 3 tasks. It's challenging enough to be meaningful, but small enough to not to feel overwhelming. Try it tomorrow. Just 3 things that would make the day a success. Secret number 7. Capture everything. Your mind is for generating ideas, not storing them. I carry a pocket notebook everywhere and have a digital capture system on all my devices. The moment a thought, idea, or task come to my mind, I captured it externally. without fail. It could be a content idea for 2.8, a potential client for my photography business, or just something I need to pick up from the store. This frees your mind from the anxiety of trying to remember everything and prevents good ideas from disappearing into the thin air. I can't tell you how many potential video concepts I lost before I started doing this consistently. The key is having a capture system that's always available for me. It's a combination of physical notebook and digital tools. The method does not matter as much as the consistency. Just get it out of your head and into a trusted system. Secret number 8: energy management, not time management. I used to obsess over managing my time. Now I manage my energy, and it's changed everything. I schedule creative works during my peak mental hours, which for me is mornings and nights. The administrative task goes into the afternoon dip. Physical tasks happen when I need mental breaks but still have physical energy. I also track my energy patterns. After a couple of weeks of paying attention, I realized I have this creative surge around 10 p.m. at night. So that's when I schedule my most important creative work for my YouTube channel and or for my podcasts. And you have to remember too, I have a full-time job as a PTA from morning to evening, and so I don't have much time left in between. So that's why my schedule is the way it is. Working with your natural energy cycles is far more effective than fighting against them. Time management is still important, but without energy management, you are just scheduling tasks into slots where your brain might not be ready for them. Pay attention to when you're naturally sharp, foggy, or creative, or analytical, and schedule accordingly. It's been a game changer for my productivity. Secret number 9: Parkinson's law manipulation. Parkinson's law manipulation states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. This is so true, it hurts. I intentionally set artificial deadlines shorter than I think I need. If something might take 2 hours, I'll give myself 75 minutes. This eliminates perfectionism and forces focus on what truly matters. When I first started doing this with my photography editing, I thought quality would suffer, but something interesting happened. The time constraint actually forced more creativity and focused decision making. The work was often better, not worse. It's amazing how capable we become when we constrain our available time. Our brain rise to the challenge when we don't give them the luxury of overthinking. Try time boxing your next project at 60 to 70% of the time you think you need. You might be shocked at what you can accomplish. Secret number 10: minimum viable progress. For any major project, I define the smallest possible version that still delivers value. Complete that first, then iterate. This prevents the paralysis that comes from thinking about the entire massive project at once. Instead of being overwhelmed by all the moving parts, you focus on creating something small but complete. This is exactly why my first YouTube videos were pretty basic compared to what I make now. But I actually published them instead of endlessly planning the perfect video that would never exist. Start with the simplest version that works. Get it out there. Learn from it, then improve. This approach has helped me launch faster and learn from real feedback instead of theoretical planning. Secret number 11: the Seinfeld strategy. Jerry Seinfeld used a calendar system where he marked an X for each day he wrote jokes. His only goal was, don't break the chain of X. I apply this in content creation, in photography practices, in my exercise, and even with my food. The visual change creates powerful momentum. There's something about seeing that unbroken chain of X that makes you think twice before skipping a day. I have this calendar on my phone, and every day I create a content, whether it's for YouTube, for the podcast, for the threads, or for 2.8 community. I just mark an X. That chain is at 87 days, and I'm weirdly proud of it. I just recently started the X thing for my weight loss journey too, and right now I'm at 7 days. Consistency compounds in a way we drastically underestimate. Small daily action over time leads to a massive results. Secret number 12. Batching similar tasks. Task switching create massive cognitive cost. Every time you switch contexts, there is this mental reset period where you are not fully productive. I batch similar activities together. All my calls on Tuesday afternoon, email processing twice daily, content creation in 2 to 3 hours block, photography editing in dedicated sessions. This creates this beautiful flow state where your brain can settle into a specific mode of thinking without constant disruption. When I'm in a video editing mode, I'll edit multiple videos in one session rather than spreading it through the week. Your brain performs better when it can stay in a specific cognitive lane. This has probably doubled my output quality for both my YouTube content and my photography business. Secret number 13. The weekly review. Every Saturday or Sunday evening, I spend at least 30 to 45 minutes reviewing the past week and planning the next. What worked, what didn't, and what needs adjustment. This prevents the same inefficiencies from reoccurring week after week. It's like a regular course correction that keeps you from drifting too far off track. I looked at what I planned to accomplish versus what actually happened. I checked my energy levels throughout the week. I review any productivity experiment I was running. Then I planned the next week with those insights in mind. Without this systemic review, we rarely address the root cause of our productivity obstacle. We just keep running into the same wall. This simple 30 to 45 minute ritual has probably saved me hundreds of hours of repeating mistakes and inefficient processes. Secret number 14. Purposeful breaks. Working continuously destroys productivity. I use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of work followed by 5 minutes of break, but with a twist. During break, I move physically and rest mentally, no checking messages or social media, which only fragments attention further. I'll do quick stretches, look out the windows at distant objects, great for eye strain from screens, get some water, or just breathe deeply for a minute. True breaks replenish mental energy. Digital distraction depletes it. A 5-minute social media check isn't a break, it's just a different kind of mental taxation. This approach has helped me maintain focus for much more longer period throughout the day without burning out. Secret number 15. Default to action. When in doubt, I take immediate action rather than more planning. Our natural tendency is to delay through endless preparation. I found that taking imperfect action teaches more than any amount of planning ever could. This was huge for launching my 2.8 channel and community. There's not a lot in the community because I'm still thinking about what to do in it, but I launched the community, and so today is the ad break, so I'm gonna start posting stuff on my community from tomorrow, and I already have the stuff that I'm gonna put it in the community. I could have spent months perfecting the concept, but instead I just started creating it and just based on the real feedback. Perfect plans are worthless if they never meet the reality. The learning comes from doing, not thinking about doing. When I catch myself in extended planning mode, I ask, what's the smallest next action I can take right now to move this forward? Then I do that immediately. Secret number 16. Elimination before optimization. Before trying to do things more efficiently, I ask if they need to be done at all. Often, the most productive approach is complete elimination. I regularly audit my commitments and activities and ask, does this truly move the needle towards my goal? This has led me to eliminate entire category of work that were taking up mental and physical energy without contributing meaningfully to what I'm building at 2.8. Don't be efficient at things that shouldn't exist in your life. Elimination is often the highest form of optimization. Secret number 17. Momentum through completion. Partial progress on multiple projects create mental drag. I focus on taking projects to completion before starting the new ones. The psychological boost from finishing something, even something small, amplifies motivation for the next task. There is this sense of clarity and confidence that comes from completion. When I first started content creation, I have dozens of half finished videos. It was mentally exhausting. Now I complete one before moving to the next, and the quality and the quantity of the output have both improved. I think, my channel with one video per week. Whenever I start following this idea, now I'm outputting almost like 3 videos for the last 1 month. So now this is even crazy because now I'm uploading 3 shorts every day and one podcast episode per week. And going forward, I'm gonna try to do the same thing every week, week after week, until I get bored, and then I'm gonna challenge myself again, doing even more. So completion basically generate momentum that beginning new things cannot. Finish what you start, even if it's not perfect. Secret number 18. The forcing function. I create external accountability that forces action. I schedule meetings to present work not yet completed. I commit publicly to deadlines. I pay for consequences if I don't follow through. When I was struggling to consistently create YouTube content, I told my audience exactly when my next video would drop. That public commitment made it happen, even when motivation was low. These forcing functions override procrastination. When the cost of inaction becomes higher than the discomfort of action, we move. And now this is gonna be very, very powerful for me right now because I'm trying to build a community at 2.8.io. Secret number 19. Proactive recovery. High performance require intentional recovery. I schedule recovery activities with the same seriousness as work. These include complete disconnection days, time in nature, deep social connection, and creative play. These aren't optional. They are essential for sustaining productivity. After a major photography project or content push, I deliberately schedule a recovery day. During that time, I completely disconnect from my work. No email, no planning, nothing related to my business. Without proactive recovery, burnout isn't just likely, it's inevitable. I learned this the hard way before building regular recovery into my schedule. We are towards the end, so here's the secret number 20, single tasking. Multitasking is an illusion that fragments attention and reduces quality. I've trained myself to focus entirely on one task, even for just 10 to 15 minutes. When I'm just editing a photo, not also checking my messages, thinking about my next video, or planning dinners. When I'm recording podcast content like this, my focus is solely here with you. This produces better results in less total time than bouncing between multiple activities. The quality difference is immediately noticeable in my photography and also my content on the YouTube. Presence with one task is a superpower in an age of distraction. It's something I practice daily, and it continues to pay dividend in both quality and mental clarity. Secret number 21. Friction mapping. I regularly examine where friction occurs in my workflow, what causes delay, what do I resist doing. Then I systematically reduce that friction through automation, delegation, or redesigned process. When I noticed I was procrastinating on making YouTube thumbnails, I created a standard template system. When email responses were taking too long, I built a library of responses templates. So, small sources of friction, when accumulated, become a major productivity obstacle. Identifying and eliminating them creates smoother workflows and reduce resistance to getting things done. This approach has been especially helpful with my photography business, where client communication used to create a lot of friction until I systemized them. Secret number 23: personal operating procedures. For reoccurring activities, I document my exact process step by step, and this eliminates decision making and ensure consistent quality. Whether it's video production, photography, client onboarding, or content distribution, I follow these documented procedures and literally have a checklist for everything important in my business. And I used to do that when I was learning how to edit the proper photo and how to manage the business taxes. This transforms occasional success into reliable system. It also make it easier to delegate when the time comes to grow the team. Having these documented procedures save me countless hours and mental energy in both my YouTube channel and photography business. Secret number 23: the continuous growth mindset. Finally, the meta secret. I view productivity as an ongoing experiment, not a fixed destination. I'm constantly testing new approaches and refining existing ones. What worked last year might not work now as circumstances changed. What worked for my photography business might need to adjust for my content creation. The most productive people are those who never stop evolving their system. They treat productivity itself as a skill to be developed rather than a fixed rate. This experimental mindset has led to most of the breakthroughs I have shared today. If something isn't working, I don't force it. I try something else. So there you have it. 23 productivity secrets that have completely transformed how I approach my work and my life. And they have helped me build businesses while maintaining balance and avoiding burnout. But they are not just theoretical concepts. They are practical approaches that create real results when implemented consistently. I use these every day across my YouTube channel, photography business, and building the 2.8 community. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't try to implement all 23 at once. Choose one or two that resonated most strongly and focus there. Small, consistent changes compound over time into dramatic transformations. And hey, if you found value in this episode, I'd really appreciate your support. Check out 2.8.io where you can grab some merch or join our community. If you want to be the part of the community, try the annual payment option and use coupon code FIRST100 at checkout. It's a special discount for the first 100 members only, so it won't last forever. But again, seriously, only if your financial situations allow it. If money is tight right now, please save it and use it wisely. The free content isn't going anywhere. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Beyond 2.8. Remember, the goal isn't perfect productivity. It's meaningful progress towards what truly matters to you. Until next time, keep challenging yourself to grow, but do it with patience and self-compassion. Bye.